On this week's MetPy Monday, learn what named tuples are, how they're different from normal tuples in dictionaries, and see how you might use them to create some nice data structures in your Python code. Welcome to another MetPy Monday. Hello, I'm John Lehman, a software engineer for Unidata. On this week's MetPy Monday, I want to show you something called a named tuple and how it can be really useful in your code. But before I can show you it, I want to show you some of the other data structures you might consider, and then we'll see how named tuple can improve upon that. So for this example, let's consider a current observation that we might have from an observing station. I'm going to create current ob. And we could create this as a list. So maybe we have a temperature of 24, a dew point of 18, a wind speed of 5, and a wind direction of 135. That works just fine. We could also create it as a regular tuple. So current ob. Remember, tuples have parentheses. And that works as well. And that might actually be a little better because we probably don't want our current observation to be mutable or changeable. We could change an individual element in the list, but with a tuple, these are immutable. We can't change them once we've created them. And in this case, that makes sense. But I don't like the fact that if I want to get temperature, I have to remember that that was my first number and index was 0. Or that if I want to go and get, let's say, my wind speed, I have to remember that's index 2, or the third element. So that can be a little bit inconvenient. It's also not very easy to expand. So we might say, well, of course we can do better than that. We can use dictionaries. We've talked about dictionaries before. So I could say temperature is my key. Remember, dictionaries have the curly braces, and then they're a key value pair. So that means something like temperature 24, dew point 18. So the thing before the colon is the key, and the thing after it is the value. So we can look up the value based on that key, and the key must be something that we call hashable. It could be a string, it could be an integer, it could be a float, it could be anything that is hashable in Python. So we'll continue along with this. Dew point, wind speed. Our wind speed was 5, and our wind direction was 135. So now how do we get to this data? Well, let's say I want dew point. So I can say current ob bracket and then the key dew point. I can also use the syntax I like a little bit more because it's safe if you're asking for a key that does not exist. Get, also slightly database reminiscent. So both of those produce the same thing. So now I'm retrieving by the key name, and that's pretty good too, really. If I had a lot of observations, maybe I would have a list of dictionaries or a tuple of dictionaries, and that would be okay. We are storing those keys, those hashes, for each dictionary every time, though. So in most cases, that's probably not going to matter, but maybe that does start to run into some performance problems if we had hundreds of thousands of obs in a list, and we're storing redundant information. Though this is pretty flexible. We could have different names, different values. Maybe one station has solar radiation, one doesn't. Or later on we want to add some other key, we can always do that. But that does mean that maybe we have temperature misspelled in a few, and we don't notice it. So your first reaction might be, well, we should make a class. And sure, we can make a class where these things are attributes, but once we do that, we're going to call the init method of that class, so we're going to create an instance of it, and set these values and not touch them again. So that seems a little heavy-handed, and also we're creating something that's mutable, and again, maybe we don't want it to be mutable. So this is where something like a named tuple comes in and fits perfectly. So the named tuple comes from a module called collections. So we're going to import collections. And now we're going to create our data type, our named tuple. So I'm going to create a named tuple data type. I'm going to call my named tuple type observation. I'm going to say it equals collections dot named tuple. Then we give it a type name. I'm going to say observation. That's generally the best practice to do here. And now I'm going to give it the attributes. These need to be strings. And they're actually going to, because they're strings, they're going to be space separated. So they're strings with no spaces in them. That makes sense. You don't have spaces in Python variable names. So temperature, dew point, wind speed, and wind direction. So now I'm going to create my current ob, just like we did before. But now it is observation. So it looks like we're creating an instance of a class here, right? And then I'm going to pass in my temperature, dew point, wind speed, and wind direction. If I look at the type of current ob, we see that it is of type observation. Now we can also create it using the keyword names here, which I would say reads a little bit nicer. So temperature equals 24. Notice tab completion works. So I started typing dew point and hit tab, and we see that dew point is a parameter. So that saves you some typing, always a good thing. Same with wind speed and wind direction. So that creates the same thing fundamentally. And this is what we get if we just get the representation of it here. We see observation and our values. I like the access syntax a lot better now. Because these are pretty much just attributes, I can call current ob.temperature or current ob.wind speed. So the creation and the access to me looks very clean. Also, these, the keys, if you will, though they're not really keys, these attribute or parameter names are only being stored once in the creation of our type up here, or of our named tuple. So we do have some savings if we had many of these. It's nicer than creating a class that just has a very simple init method. It's immutable. It gives you great access and great creation mechanisms. And it does enforce that I don't mistype temperature when I'm creating one of my dictionaries. Though maybe you'd be doing that programmatically. But this is a really nice tool for certain types of things. And I think observations are one of the primary use cases of this. So I hope that you found this useful and that you'll be able to use named tuples in certain places in your Python code. Maybe they beat a normal tuple or a list because you don't have to do that indexing, or maybe they beat a dictionary because you're going to have many of the exact same sets of keys if it were multiple dictionaries, or now parameters. And these can be a really nice way to create some clean code. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you on next week's MetPy Monday.